Thank you for joining us. This is Live with Miami's Community News, and I'm Michael Miller, and our guest today is Mike Dion from Dion Generators. So let's talk about your business. This is still hurricane season, sort of, and we know the folks over on the West Coast got really whacked, all right?
Mm-hmm.
And you've been doing this for how long now?
About 20 years.
All right. So let's talk about some of those folks over there that had generators, all right? Tell us, number one, how they could activate them, and what about the fuel? People always ask me about that. Mm-hmm. And so let's hear about that.
So it's most important not to wait till last minute. We're in South Florida, we need to be prepared. Maintenance of the generator is very important to keep the unit maintained. So when you do need it, it's going to run. As far as the fuel source, you have to have ample amount of fuel. When the event does happen, fuel becomes limited. Diesels are number one most reliable fuel source in the state. Our propane comes from Texas. It's transported via truck,
So when you have it, like folks over there, they maybe had a generator, mm-hmm. and if they didn't have the fuel because the last time they needed it was X, then they're stuck.
Correct.
So for us here in Miami and Broward and Palm Beach, is that your main service area?
Yeah, I pretty much service Broward, Monroe, and Dade County.
And you've been doing this for 20 years mm-hmm. plus. People want to know what got you into this.
Wow, that's a interesting story. I was actually helping a friend out, connecting generators in a cemetery. The morgue in the cemetery had no power, and it was Halloween night, and we're actually transporting bodies that are getting hot into tractor trailer reefers. And I was actually connecting generators, emergency power, to turn the refrigerators and coolers back on in the morgues of the cemeteries. And this was like my curse on Halloween night many, many moons ago, and I haven't been able to get out of it.
This is true story.
A true story.
So there you are, and you say, gee, maybe I can make a living out of this and build a business.
Well, I kind of, again, it was a curse, and I haven't been able to get out of it since.
Right, so getting back to over here in your service area, when we get storms over here, it's just a matter of when that is, all right? Mm-hmm. And we know we have these, sometimes where the power goes out for a very short period of time, but you have generators that would click on during that time frame.
Yeah, so pretty much an automatic standby generator. You lose power, your power will be restored in 8 seconds, okay? And you don't have to do anything. Everything's automatic, everything's pre-programmed. It's all about having your generator maintained properly.
Lots of people are concerned about, number one, about propane gas. Mm-hmm. Is it going to explode? All right. And do I have to do anything with the generator? And your answer is no, it's got set up. But let's talk about the storage of fuel that is needed for that particular generator. Mm-hmm. How is that stored, and where is that compared to the house and the generator?
So the propane tanks are either stored above or below ground. Depends on the capacity, depends on the budget. The above ground tanks typically last, all my customers, I recommend to get them through 5 to 6 days of enough fuel to get through the storm. Typically in Miami, the first 3 days after a storm are most critical days. After day 3, everyone all lights and businesses start to show up, come back on, and yep. People go back to work, and we're able to provide fuel.
Okay. I know in a moment your website address, your website's going to be up, or the website address. If people go to the website, they can see different types of generators.
Yes.
But for the novice, when they call you up and go, listen, I got a 2,500 square foot house. Mm-hmm. I want to have some backup, right? What do I do? So they're going to call you, and tell me some of the questions you would ask them to figure out the best thing to recommend.
So they call us, we go out, we give a free estimate, free in-home estimate. We design a system that's going to work for them. And we pretty much show them how we're going to do it. We explain to them, what's going to include and what's entailed. We handle the estimate, we handle the drawings, we handle the permitting, we handle the installation, we handle the maintenance. We're a complete one-stop shop. So we're with you the whole step of the process.
See, obviously finance drive a lot of this. Do some people try to underpower it because they don't want to spend the money? And if they wind up getting something that's underpowered and it goes on automatic, some of the stuff's not going to click on, or does the generator go off?
So legally, we're not allowed to install a generator that would overload and shut down on a standby. A standby generator is going to start and come on whether we're home not home, traveling. So we're not allowed to legally to design the generator where it's going to overload. We have devices that we install called load shed modules that will prevent the generator from overloading. So it's all about hiring the right company.
You mean built in?
Yes, correct.
So does that mean it wouldn't let, for instance, if you have 4 or 5 air conditioners in the building, it's going to say, no, we're not going to let all 5 go on?
Exactly. Because we're going to reduce the load, so we'll manage the load.
And that does that because you program it for that.
Yes, sir.
So, so if somebody's got a bunch of refrigerators and all this stuff, you can say, we can do the full thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is how much it's going to cost to do this. But if you don't want to do all that, we can do it. Which devices do you want to have to come on?
So typically the refrigerators are the priority. So we pretty much go through a list of what their necessities are. Some people have koi fish. That's a priority for them. They care about their fish over their food. Some people care about the air conditioners. Some people care about hot water. So it's a matter of the largest loads we have in South Florida are air conditioning units. So that's the largest load we typically have, and tankless electric water heaters.
So what is your preferred fuel?
I have a diesel generator in my home. If diesel is the most dependable, most reliable. We have millions of gallons here at Miami Airport, Port Everglades, Port of Miami.
And that would go into some tank on the property. Is that buried?
No, the tank is actually mounted under the generator. So it's a self-contained unit. So the generator and the tank are one unit.
And how many gallons or how many hours of running fuel are in the tank?
The systems we saw have at least 5 to 6 days of runtime fuel.
In the tank?
Yes.
It's on the generator?
Yes.
How many gallons is that?
So I have a 30 kilowatt generator in my home. It has a 162 gallon tank, and that's giving me 5 days continued runtime.
How many gallons?
162 gallons.
Like one of those barrels is 55 gallons.
Right. So it's like 3 of them, but it's in a,
built into this generator.
Correct. So it has a sub-base tank.
It's not one of those like little lawnmower tanks.
No. It's a big tank, and it's a double wall tank. So it's a tank inside of a tank. We have the most stringent requirements due to our Everglades. So we have a special tank that has to be Florida approved.
And typically, you find on the property, where can the machine be put up? Does it have to be a certain distance from the house?
Yes, we have to abide by local code. Every municipality is different. Typical setback is at least 5 feet from the property line, and then we typically have to be at least 10 feet away from any opening of the house. It could be a window, door, so carbon monoxide does not enter the home. It's very important. There's a lot of carbon monoxide poison in the country.
And how stable is diesel fuel?
Diesel fuel is pretty stable. It's just all about maintenance. The shelf life on diesel without doing anything to it is about 2 to 3 years. Every time we go out, we inspect the fuel. We do fuel samples. We're able to polish. We have a filtration system. We're able to polish the fuel and keep it running, keep it going. So
you mentioned about a 30 kilowatt. What is that power?
30 kilowatt generator produces 150 amps of capacity. So that pretty much will power a mid-size home very efficiently. I have 2 5-ton air conditioners in my home. I'm about 4,000 square foot, and it runs my whole entire house.
Okay. But getting back to the people on the West Coast, whose homes were annihilated.
Yeah.
There's really not a whole lot they can do at this point because they have to redo their houses.
Right.
At what point is it? Let's say it wasn't totally destroyed. The generator's still going to work, right?
Well,
unless there's some physical damage.
I mean, if we're talking category 5, if we get hit with a category 5, like if we get another Andrew from 92, if we don't have 4 walls and a roof, the generator's going to do no good.
Right.
So, I mean, it's all about understanding the severity of the storm. No one has been able to beat Mother Nature yet.
I don't think
So
it's going to happen.
If she wants it, she's going to get it.
So, and a lot of people are concerned about, how many days is it going to take to get the power turned back on? You already just said 3 to 5 days as things start to work.
Mm-hmm.
So when the power goes back on in the neighborhood, how does the generator that's been running, let's say 24 hours, all right? It just shuts off? How does that work?
So there's an automatic transfer switch that's installed. So that is what controls the generator when to start and when to turn off. So everything's fully automatic. Again, the generator will start up once a week. He'll do a weekly exercise. It comes on just to say, hey, I'm reporting to work every week at the same time, same day. So it's a system that's always monitoring the line.
And it goes on, does it actually switch in so it's running the power, or does it just turn it on without going inside?
No, it just runs the engine because the wives will be upset with us having to reset all the clocks every week. So we don't.
Sounds like you're familiar with that stuff.
Yes.
So let's talk about your business. So you started your business when?
About 20 years ago.
And so we understood that how you started helping the body stay cool.
Yeah, I've always been an electrician. So, I mean, I've been an electrician all my life. And I'm a car guy as well. I like cars and electric. And I kind of just fell into the niche and haven't been able to get out of it since. And
right. So your location happens to be down South 128th Street area?
Yes.
Which I've seen your signs down there for, it seems like forever. How long have you been at that location?
That location, we've only been there about 5 years. But we were around the corner for the remaining 15 years.
So
we're literally one block over.
Yeah. So I used to go back there and look at all the little warehouses back there and talk to the people.
Yeah, we used to be next to Davidson Flag, the flag guy.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So that's where we were originally.
And so when you got in it, how did you know that you were going to be able to make it?
It's about satisfying, taking care of each customer one at a time. Satisfying them, getting them, completing the job, making them happy, one customer at a time. And it's still that today.
So tell us some of your favorite manufacturers, the type of the name brands people might recognize.
So my favorite brand is Kohler. Kohler product, they brought indoor plumbing about 150 years ago into the home. They started out in plumbing division. They had to find a way to move water. That's how you got into the pumps and power systems. They had to move water with pumps. And Kohler's been making generators since 1920. I also sell Generac. Generac is also a really good company as well. And we also sell Cummins. We're factory trained in all three of those brands. I am able to also sell, install, and repair any other kind of brand as well.
Do your customers ever specify, I want this brand?
Yes, absolutely.
And they say, I want this type because I know I'm familiar with that.
Yeah, it's just like almost like cars or shoes. We could describe it as. Everyone has their brand favorites. I don't recommend any Chinese units because the product is only as good as their parts and service. Chinese units we can't get parts for. So a lot of these the retailers sell a lot of Chinese units. When they break, kind of just chug them.
Are the size of the units, let's say a 30 kilowatt, are they all about the same size? As far as from the different manufacturers?
Well, it all depends on the size of the home. I mean, a typical 2-bedroom house that has natural gas already existing, like they can start out with a 20 kilowatt generator to run the whole house. Going into a little larger home where they don't have natural gas, say if they have propane, we would probably recommend a 26 kilowatt generator. Due to the fact of having natural gas, it brings down their load calculation because they'll probably have hot water heater will be gas, their oven will be gas, and their dryer will be gas operated. So it brings down the electrical calculation.
If people don't know whether there's natural gas, so they can call up the city.
Yes.
Or the county.
Yeah, they go Florida City Gas or Tico Gas. They could call, find out gases in their area.
And would that be the preferred way, or is diesel okay, or just have it on the natural?
So diesel is, unfortunately, it is the most expensive, but it is the most dependable. Anything hospital related, every hospital has a diesel generator. Our city, county, state, government, DOT, military run on diesel. The National Guard will bring us diesel if we need it. They're not going to bring us propane.
It's amazing. And let's talk about the physical unit itself. Are the same BTUs? Is that kilowatts? Are they all about the same size for the same kilowatts?
So the diesel generator has a larger footprint due to the fact that the fuel tank is underneath the generator. So it's a sub-mounted, sub-base tank that stores the diesel. The aesthetically, pleasing, the propane generator or natural gas generator, the gas generator looks smaller. As the fuel source is somewhere else, whether it's on the gas meter or buried tank, or the tanks are somewhere above ground, at least 10 feet away.
So I've not heard anything about regular fuel, regular gas.
Gasoline pretty much pertains to the little portable gasoline generators.
Okay. So that's the ones that have wheels on them,
Yes.
or just the small ones that sit there. So what are some of the hazards of having those portable ones versus one that's permanent?
So the portable ones, there's a lot of human errors factors that could kick in. One, they put the generator too close to their house, where carbon monoxide comes in the house. You see, every year you'll see, in the wintertime or, any storm areas. By having a generator permanently installed with a permit, everything's properly set, where there's going to be pretty much no human error factor that's going to cause an issue of normal operation.
During, I'm not sure what hurricane, maybe it was Andrew, our power was out here and we had some generators in the back. Sure enough, somebody put some fuel in it when it was hot.
Yeah.
Right up his arm. Right?
That's the issue of gas. I mean, gas, propane, and natural gas, it ignites with a spark. Diesel does not ignite with a spark. The diesel needs heat to burn. You could drop a match in a bucket of diesel and it'll die out because there's not enough heat for it to burn. So yeah, definitely the flashpoints are definitely there.
So you do homes and you do commercial establishments.
Yes, all sizes.
So tell us about some of the businesses, the type of businesses you've been putting in and square footage of those properties.
We have seafood distributors we take care of in Doral. There are hundreds of thousands square foot of freezers and coolers for all the seafood for all the cruise ships and all the fisheries that come in. We do everything from high rises, condominiums, all different. There's a huge spectrum of type of commercial jobs we have.
Generators don't go on roofs, do they?
On roofs?
Yeah.
Yes, they do. Yes, we have diesel generators that go on. We have on a 20-story building, and they have a fill port at the bottom that you connect the truck to, and it pumps the diesel all the way up to the roof into the tank.
And you design that?
Well, yeah, we have engineers that design. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're able to service and install them. Yeah, exactly.
And for that particular unit, how many kilowatts is that?
Like typically 200, 250 or larger.
250 kilowatts.
Yes.
Pretty big unit.
Yeah.
And as I asked you earlier, you go up on the roofs all the time.
Oh, I'm in it every day. I have a face. All my customers know me personally.
That's amazing. So I know you're pretty active in local business clubs. So tell us about some of the clubs that you belong to.
We belong from Southern South, Alamorada, Key Largo, Ocean Reef, Palmetto Bay Business Association, Pinecrest Business Association, Coral Gables Chamber of Commerce, Chamber South, and I think there's another one that we're recently getting involved in.
And so you and your team are there all in those places?
We're in the community. We give back. I'm in sponsoring the PBA. We're doing the pig roast. We have a booth. We're sponsoring Pinecrest Police Department.
Okay.
So we definitely very much involved. I'm in the car community, doing a lot of charities, shows.
I've seen some of those pig roast commercials. The guy dressed like a pig. He sort of looks like me a little bit, but a little shorter.
Yeah, we've seen him around here. I thought I saw him earlier today.
That's going to be in the middle of November. And
yes.
From what I understand, they have 100+ booths out there. And everybody's going to be out there cooking up their pigs.
Yeah, the fire department against the police.
And the proceeds go to help officers' families if the officer's not there.
Correct.
If I remember right. So tell us about when you go to these chambers of commerce. Tell us what you do there and why somebody should join and participate in this.
Well, it's business owners meeting business owners, and networking is very important. I'm able to bring people together, make connections, promote not only my business, their business, and there's nothing more better for small business to promote small business. And
you obviously participated in this. I introduced you to somebody a few minutes ago, and she goes, "Oh, we're thinking about doing this."
Yep.
And that's what chambers do.
Correct.
They allow the opportunity for that to occur. So, and tell us about down south in the Florida Keys. They continue to get hit with hopefully smaller hurricanes. Well, But when they need service, they call up your organization and you go down and you take care of them.
Yes, absolutely. We have several hundred maintenance agreements, contracts, where we maintain the generator year round. So we go down there three times a year to pretty much a typical customer, and we, keep the unit up and running.
So if somebody says, I'm going to go with you guys, they're going to do the diesel fuel, they set it up, make sure it's working right. Once a week, it goes on for a few minutes.
Yes.
To make sure it's there. Once every 3 months, they don't have to remind you, hey, come out and do it. You go out every 3 months,
Correct.
right? And you look at it, make sure it's working.
Yeah, it's our responsibility. So our maintenance agreement covers 100% maintenance for all labor. So we're pretty much on call.
So if this generator is like 5 feet from the neighbors and 10 feet from the house, right? How does it go? What do? You have the wires under the ground?
Correct. Yeah, we trench everything underground. Everything's nice and neat. It's everything's all permitting. Everything's inspected. Everything's by the book, and at the end, it looks nice. It works. It functions very well.
And you're an electrician forever.
Yeah.
Okay. So, so you're pretty busy there. But tell us about some of your hobbies.
I like cars. I like taking a drive. My cars don't talk back. I like to listen to music and take a drive and take a drive with the keys.
You have any helpers that help you drive from the passenger seat?
Yeah. I got a little occasionally there's a little sidekick there.
So, do you have a boat?
Nope, I don't have a boat yet. I have a jet ski right now, which I think is unique because I like the water. I like to go quick, and I like to. I don't have time to throw away and throw money away. So the jet ski's small enough for me to maintain myself. I hook it and go and just put it in my garage.
So I did notice you said yet. So we're going to look down that road in 6 months or year, see if we replace the yet, but with yes. So tell us about the type of employees that you like to have on staff.
We're pretty much like a family company. I mean, we have employees with us many, many years. My electrician's been with me, 17 years. I demand, the best. I always treat them well. I know I'm demanding, but I feel I'm very fair. And I'm at the end, it's all about the customer. The customer comes first. Customers call us with a problem, and our job is to fix every problem one at a time. Whether their generator's broke, whether they need a generator, whether they're out of power.
And certainly in this time and age where it's hard to get people on the phone and people are reluctant to email back, we want our problem taken care of. Nothing's worse than trying to get it done and nobody's responding.
Right. We have a 24-hour answering. We have a live people answer our calls.
Okay. And you just told me that last week you got a call at what time in the morning?
Last week was 2 weeks ago. We had a busy couple weeks here, where we had the two back-to-back from Helena and Milton. We actually I had two emergency calls, one at 1 o'clock in the morning, one at 4 o'clock in the morning. The 4 o'clock in the morning was in Miami Beach, where a tree fell down on the power line and ripped the wiring out of the house. Luckily, the transfer switch did not get affected, and the generator was running the house. And the tree landed on top of the generator, and we put photos on the website for people to see. Everyone was worried about a tree falling on a generator. The generator was still running, and
people can get to your website. It's on the screen right now.
Yes.
They go there. They can see all the different types of equipment that you have, all the name brands that they carry.
They go on our website. They go on IG. So social media. We're on IG. We're on Facebook. We're definitely in the area.
So you're very involved with social media. Very involved in local chambers of commerce. Where did that come from?
All about word of mouth. All about making that initial connection. From this person, hey, you should try this. Hey, come, we're inviting you here. It's all about networking, all about self-promotion.
But how did you realize that enough to where you said, I need to be where people are?
Well, it's all about growing our network, growing our business, about getting the word out, making people prepared and aware. We live in South Florida. We need, this. There's the generator business is a very growing field right now as we speak. Everybody is going to need them and want them.
So frequently, I hear in a lot of new houses, they're It's part of the package now. Like, you get a house and there's a generator.
Right.
When did that sort of start?
Pretty, I would say during Katrina time, Katrina, Wilma, that's when pretty much the residential generators started taking off. And every storm that comes, we get, another correction, what we call market correction. Hiring a generator company is very important to know where your company's at that you're going to hire. We're in the area we live at. We're in the area where we service at and work at. So if you order a pizza from 3 counties away, by the time you get the pizza, you're not going to want it because it's going to be no good. If you had an emergency power outage, you would not call a fire department or police department 3-4 counties away. You want to call the closest person to you, the closest provider to you to get the best service. So with that, we're in a territory where we live at and work at and serve, where we can respond to our customers within minutes versus other companies.
So locally owned business, local people,
Yep.
and fast response.
Exactly.
Right? Fair prices, great equipment.
Mm-hmm.
And people can call you. They go on the website. They can see that, or they can look it up. They can send you an email.
Absolutely. All my customers have my phone number. They call me directly, and the office is always there, ready to respond. And we're electrical contractors, we're gas contractors, we're fully licensed. We're a 24-hour operation.
Where'd you get this drive from?
This drive?
You drive.
It's I'm a hands-on kind of guy. I'm a yes person. A lot of people ask me, "Can you do this?" Yes. I'm not a no person. I say I'm a canner, and not a canter.
Yeah. So yes, we can do it. Then we're going to figure out how to get it done so everybody's safe and everybody's happy.
Correct.
So tell us about. We got 1 minute left. Where'd you grow up?
I grew up. I was born in Chicago. I moved here in '79, and I pretty much lived in off of Northwest 7th Street and 31st Avenue and 7th Street. I grew up. I went to Jackson High. I went to Kensington Park Elementary, and still down here. So
a real Miami boy.
Yes.
So I'm sure there've been people that have helped you along your way, right? Friends or family or mentors. You got a couple in your head. You're thinking about them right now, because what I'd like you to do is we're going to put the camera on you right here, over there, and why don't you talk to them and thank them if appropriate, right?
Okay.
Whether they're with us or not.
Okay, so a little bit on the spot.
I know.
My parents were hard on me. I think they made me who I am today. If you're gonna do it, do the best you can, and don't give up. Find a way to make it happen. It's about the end result, and no is not an answer. And I think I take it. I give that to my parents for being hard on me to make me who I am today.
It's wonderful, and we know the little kids' eyes are always watching us. And
yep.
So whether they see this now or you carry it with you, all right, that you're a great example of making life worthwhile from a business point. And when you're happy over here, hopefully these other areas continue to be happy. Continue your charitable work. And if you want to give some money to a charity, try NAMI, National Alliance for Mental Illness, our favorite charity, to help people that really need it. Mike Dion, Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.